Hi, enjoying another beautiful, beautiful day at home. I just love weekends when I can get to be by myself and I can connect with self and with my higher power. I can just be at home listening to music, reading a book, watching a good movie, catching up on my shows, working around the house on projects, making jewelry, reading, writing, what have you. I really do enjoy being by myself. And I know that there's nothing wrong with that. However, when I was assessing my routine, I realized that I do need to tweak it a little bit. And the reason for that is because some of the nights that I come home and I'm mindlessly flipping through the channels and I'm tired and bored, or the very night that I tend to have the problems with sticking to a regimen that's healthy for me, because then I turn to food out of boredom and perhaps out of loneliness. Who knows? I haven't taken it quite that far, but I know boredom definitely plays a role in this. Over the holidays, I got to spend time with friends that I hadn't seen for a while. I got to really reconnect with some of the people that I used to talk to quite a bit more on the phone, and I miss it. I realized that, spending the quality time with friends is part of the whole journey. It's part of my balance. It's part of my support system. It's part of my channeling, being able to give of self and being able to receive. And those relationships are crucial to my well-being. And I realized that I kind of had been shying away from that. I really honestly don't have any reason except that I fell into this routine of, coming home, being by myself. And I enjoy being alone, but I realized that boredom can be dangerous, especially for someone like me who out of emotion will sometimes nibble, eat, overeat, and whatnot. So part of the whole thing is, of course, once I've realizing that something needs to be course correct, that I need to phase it in. I'm not saying that I'm going to be giving up my alone time. It's still very, very imperative to my well-being. I enjoy the solitude, reading a good book, journaling, as I mentioned before, the list goes on. However, I realize that on nights when I come home and it's still early, I really should be engaging in other activities. For example, going out for a nice walk when it's still very bright outside so that it's not dangerous. Being able to maybe even go do some window shopping or go sit in the cafe that's not too far from my house, just to be outside amongst people, listening to music, breaking from the monotony of just being at home. Being on the phone with friends that I haven't spoken for a while. I have gotten out of the habit of speaking to people at night because I, kind of fell into my own little thing, my own little world. Visiting a friend. I know sometimes it's difficult during the weekday because everybody has their families and whatnot, but there are people who welcome, this little bit of, what do you call that again? This little bit of visit, for lack of a better word. I know that it's going to be very good for me. I know that that's going to help me fill in the gaps that have been kind of difficult for me to maneuver, even though I didn't even realize that was the case. So that's basically what I had today. I want to establish the balance between being able to spend quality time alone and being able to have interactions with humans. I know that makes me sound like such a recluse and kind of like an antisocial introvert, but I'm not. It's just that, like I said before, I'd fallen into that rut and I realized that it kind of contributed to my feeding, for lack of a better word, into the bad habits that are being very detrimental to my health. So if this is something that you think you might be able to benefit from, why not try it? Take a look at your schedule, take a look at your routine and see if there's some place where you could course correct by adding a little bit more interactions. It doesn't always have to be going all the way out. It could be a phone call. I mean, I listed quite a bit of things, and I welcome feedbacks and comments about, how people fill up their evenings when they really tend to enjoy time alone and kind of need to be nudged a little bit away from the alone time and mix it up a little bit. So to your health and mind, as usual, I am looking forward to your sharing, your likes, your subscribing. The channel is Kat's Wellness Journey, and that's K, the @ apostrophe S Wellness Journey. I'll be on the lookout for your comments and your suggestion. It really does mean a lot to me.